Greg Larson Show. The big unit is ready to go. The Greg Larson Show. Muck around on the Mazapan. A fresh custard in his hand. The greatest podcast in all the land. Greg Larson Show. Yeah. What we need, another podcast show.
How you doing, everybody? It's great to be here.
All right, this is an episode all about the Australian election. There's no jokes. It's just me going to go fucking psycho for the next however long it takes. Is that all right? I just have to do an election special. I have to talk about the election. I have to go off book. I haven't written this out. I got cards with stuff written on them, notes. The Australian election, the federal election, is coming up. Now, I need to do the regular disclaimer that I do because I have an international audience. I got at least 2 people that listen in other countries. A, you might not like this episode. B, whenever I say liberal, I mean dog cunt. I mean conservative. Our conservative party is called the Liberal Party. There, I can't explain it anymore. I get so paranoid that like someone's going to listen to me, you know, in America. It's going to be my big break in Hollywood, and some producer's going to hear me going, "These fucking liberals," and then go, "Nah. We're not going to cast Greg as the new Batman," which I could get. Or I would love to be Penguin. I'm going to put that out there into the world. Make me a penguin. Not the penguin. I just want to be made into a penguin. Like a surgery type situation. All right, fuck up. We're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about the Australian election. We're going to get into it. So the election is coming up, the federal election in Australia, and I genuinely believe, you know, as much as I go on about shit, and as much as I, you know, maybe I admit will tend to exaggerate, maybe a little bit. Maybe I'll sometimes be a bit dramatic. I'm aware I have a flair for the dramatic. But I do genuinely believe that there's never been a more important election in my lifetime, or at least my voting lifetime, than this one. And the reason I think that, I mean, is America. It's literally America. There's a lot of fucking shit going on in the world right now. There's a lot of bad fucking shit. Like, we are in a bad spot. Let's be honest. Let's put our fucking cards on the table. We're in a bad spot. There's a cost of living crisis all over the world. There's a potential recession coming up. We are currently in a trade war with what was supposed to be one of our closest allies. There's the danger of conflict escalating in Europe over Ukraine. There's genocide going on in the Gaza Strip. There's a lot of bad stuff going on, and this is a bad time. And in America, I know this has been said a million times before, but we really can't say it enough. There is an oligarchy / fascist government now in America. And like, everyone needs to be clear that really is what is actually happening. This isn't some fucking crazy conspiracy theory. There is a oligarchy / fascist takeover where you have, you know, your likes of Steve Bannon and whatever saying Trump is going to run for a 3rd term. I don't care what the Constitution says. I mean, as if he's even going to be alive. But anyway, you've got Elon Musk firing workers en masse. There's foreign nationals being detained. Like, countries are issuing travel warnings to and from America for their own citizens. The countries like the UK, like Germany, I don't know if it's the UK, Germany, I think the Netherlands, I can't remember which countries, but like European countries. This is a bad time. And America has voted in literally by a wide margin, the worst fucking government they've ever had in the history of America. And I don't know the political leanings of all of my listeners. I have no idea. You're probably pretty lefty. Maybe you're Labour voters, maybe you're Greens voters, maybe you want to form an anarcho-communist collective. But like, it can't be overstated how much worse Trump and the Republicans have become than, you know, the Democrats over there and the former Republican Party. And this is coming from someone who, like, I protested against the Iraq War. I hated George W. Bush. Trump is orders of magnitude worse. I'm talking about America, I know, but there's a reason why, and I'm going to segue into Australia in a minute. But like, the thing in the American election, right? There's a lot of people that were pissed off with Kamala Harris, and they were pissed off with the Democrats. Like, and when I say a lot of people, I mean a lot of lefties, like ultra lefties. There were, like, you know, people that, you know, socialist, communist, like radical, you know, anarchist lefties who were very pissed off about the genocide in Gaza, who were very pissed off with politics as usual, who didn't vote for Trump, but just didn't vote or voted for a third party, right? Because they were like, you know, they were saying, you know, essentially, yeah, it's politics as usual, it's business as usual. Trump is bad, but so are the Democrats. They're also bad. They're also bombing, you know, foreign countries. They're also, you know, doing this and that and blah, 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 blah. They're also locking up refugees at the border and all the rest of it. But the thing is, and I remember hearing this on some lefty American podcast, and this is back when in the Biden election, where they had Noam Chomsky on there, and Noam Chomsky was saying, you can't. At the time, it was Trump v. Biden, and Noam Chomsky was saying, you got to vote for Biden. And these sort of anarchist lefties who were talking to Chomsky were like, yeah, but that legitimizes the electoral process that we are against in general. And Chomsky was like, yeah. And on any other day, I would agree with you, but this is Trump. Trump is much, much, much worse than politics as usual. He's not just your regular Republican. This is a fascist oligarch who is going to destroy the country, like in a way that is much worse than your typical right-wing conservative, neoconservative or liberal or whatever. And that was true. That was true. Now, the thing is, in Australia, we have preferential voting. And we have an election coming up with a Liberal Party that is becoming the fascist oligarch Republican MAGA party. And that's not an exaggeration. That's a true fact. The Liberal Party in Australia is going down that road. They haven't gone full. They haven't, like, some of them have drunk the Kool-Aid, like Jacinta Price is a Donald Trump, like, she wears the Make America Great hat. She's an Australian who wears a Make America Great hat. Is there anything more dog cunt than that? I'm opening a can of sparkling water. It's a Coke Zero. I can't pretend to you. It's a Coke Zero. So Jacinta Price fucking boycott Coca-Cola. I had cans left over. I haven't got the LAI set. I had cans left over. Shut up. Fuck you. I'm not just you fucking dog. So Jacinta Price, she is a full-on MAGA. She's a MAGA. She's in the Trump cult. There is nothing more low dog than an Australian selling out. And I mean, like, she's selling out her own people. Like, she's an Indigenous Australian who's selling out her own people. Everyone in this country, she's selling them all out for profit. And it's for profit, right? Because there's two kinds of liberals. There's only two kinds of liberals left in the Liberal Party of Australia. And it's the same in the Republican Party in America. There's fascists and there's grifters. And there's three kinds, and the third is a combination of the two. Not all of them are fascists. Not all of them are necessarily ideologically interested in fascism. They just want to make some profit. And they're, you know, like, I don't know what the fuck Donald Trump is. I don't know if he's just, like, I think he's just doing pump and dumps. He's just going, yeah, I'll fuck up the economy buy low, sell high. Like he's just, like that's all he's doing is just pump and dump schemes. I don't know. Maybe he is a fascist. Maybe he believes it. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But there's fascists and grifters. That's all they are in the Republican Party. And that is what the Liberal Party of Australia has become. Peter Dutton is a little bit of both. I would say mostly grifter. But he is taking a leaf out of the the MAGA playbook. It's the war on woke. We'll get back to that in a minute. But because here's the thing, you're already probably listening to this. You're probably not going to vote for the Liberal Party. I hope that someone who is considering voting for the Liberal Party listens to this. I've said this in a previous episode, but and I hope that you tell people who might vote for the Liberal Party some of the things that I'm going to tell you. I want to actually change someone's mind, someone somewhere, for fuck's sake. But the first and most important thing I want to talk about in the election is voting. Like, vote. Actually vote. I know that sounds stupid. It's compulsory voting, but sometimes you forget. You can't. That's the simplest thing. First of all, vote. Make sure you vote. And and this is not, I'm not going into conspiracy theories here. I don't like to do mail-in. I don't like to do postal votes. And that's not a conspiracy. I'm not talking about election fraud. I'm just talking about the 6 times Australia Post has lost packages that have been sent to me. I was trying to get edibles one time and they didn't come. I was trying to get like a fucking shirt one time. It didn't come. Like I don't know. I reckon there's like 6 times in my life that Australia Post have lost something that was being sent to me. And I don't trust them to deliver something as important as a vote. I could be fucking wrong. That could be but I'm not talking conspiracies. I'm just saying I like to make sure I'm putting it in the box just so, it's not going through 20 different hands. Just so it doesn't get lost. That's all I'm saying. But, vote however you want to vote, but make sure you vote. Don't fucking forget. Don't fucking forget. You gotta vote. But I am consistently shocked. I am consistently shocked at how many people don't understand on a fundamental level our voting system and how our voting system works. We are not America. In America, they had a problem. Kamala Harris could have won that election if people hadn't voted, like ultra lefties hadn't voted for a third party, or people hadn't stayed home in protest and not voted, or whatever, right? There's because in America they have first past the post voting. What that means is whoever gets the most votes wins. Essentially, there's a whole I could go on and on about American politics. They got the Electoral College, which fucking sucks, but either way, whoever gets the most votes wins. And if you vote for someone who, is a small candidate, then your vote is essentially a wasted vote. Like you're wasting your vote, right? And if you are in America, if you're, a candidate that's running on, I won't even make it political, right? If you're a candidate saying, I want pizza for dinner, and then there's another candidate that says, I want hamburgers for dinner, if you're the pizza candidate, you want a third candidate to come up and say, I want chicken burgers for dinner. Because you're like, cool, the burger crowd are going to be split between the two burgers and they'll each get, 30% of the vote each, which is like 60% total, but I'll get 40%, which is the most for an individual person, and I'll win the election. And that's how it works in America. That is not how it works in Australia. And people forget that. And I am consistently shocked at how much people don't understand about voting in Australia. And how preferences work. And I want to explain that a little bit. I'm sorry if this is boring. It is too important. This election is too fucking important to not be a bit boring. But preference voting works where you vote on your preferences. You vote, this is who I want, number 1. If they don't get in, then this is number 2. And if they don't get in, then this is number 3. And if they don't get in, then this is number 4, right? And at the end of the day, it goes down to like 8. By the time you get to the last one, it's probably going to be decided in the first 3. So people will often stress a little bit about, oh, who do I put number 7? And it's like, once you've passed number 4, it's like, it's not that important, but still, it's, here's how it works, right? You can't split a vote in a preferential voting system. And a lot of people say, and I'll use Labor and Greens as an example, right? I do tend to vote for the Greens, and I will again. I'll talk about my preferences later in the episode. But I've heard a lot of people say, I want to vote for the Greens, but I just don't want Peter Dutton to get in, so I'm going to vote Labor. And I've also heard a lot of people saying, if you vote Green, then you're going to fucking make sure Peter Dutton gets in because he'll get all the preferences and he'll get in, so make sure you vote for Labor. Labor supporters, like rusted-on Labor supporters, will often say that. They'll say a vote for the Greens is a vote for the Liberals. Anyone who says that is either lying or doesn't understand how preferential voting works. I'll explain how preferential voting works. First off, there's a myth that preferences are somehow, people talk about, oh, the Greens give their preferences to this party or, whatever, that this party gives their preferences to this party. When they say that doesn't mean that a vote for the Greens will automatically turn into a preference for party X. It means that when the Greens make a how to vote card, which is just their suggestion on how you should vote, they will put, for example, the Greens might have issue a how to vote card that says, we think you should put Greens number 1 and Labor number 2. And that's what they mean when they say the Greens preferences are going to Labor. They just mean that's what Greens suggests that you, the voter, should do. The Greens themselves aren't giving their votes to Labor. They are simply suggesting on a little piece of paper that that's how you should vote. It's still up to you how to vote. A lot of people have this false. There's some seats, for example, there's a couple in Melbourne, for example, that it's close between like the Liberal Party and the Greens, which seems weird on the surface, and it makes people think that a lot of Greens voters are preferencing the Liberal Party. Not true. If you're a Greens voter and you're preferencing the Liberal Party straight after the Greens, I put it to you that you don't have a human working brain. There couldn't be two further parties apart. You know what I mean? They're not. There's always a fucking idiot who does dumb things, but that's not what's happening. Usually in those electorates, it means there's a lot of young people and a lot of old people. And when electorates change, the swing voters, there are swing voters, obviously, but there's also swings that are happening because the demographics change in an election. More people have just turned 18. More people have died. More people have bought a house. Demographics change, so it's not necessarily an individual. This is all to say, if you want to preference the Green, if you want to vote for the Greens, for example, and I'm pretty much encouraging you to vote for the Greens. If you want to vote for the Greens, then vote for the Greens, number 1, and put Labor number 2 or whatever. Just make sure you put the Liberal Party last. I want to see them defunded and deregistered as a political party. I will not be happy until that happens. A vote number 1 for the Greens will not hurt Labor in any way unless you preference Liberal ahead of Labor, which you would have to be a piss-brained idiot to do. If you vote Greens 1, Labor 2, it helps Labor, it hurts the Liberal Party. End of story. It doesn't matter what anyone says, end of story. Because here's how it works, right? They do a round of voting. They tally up all the number 1 votes. They look at every number 1 in the box. So the votes are counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, however many is in your electorate. I feel like it's usually around 8. And they will tally up all the number 1s. If someone in that number 1 round gets 51% of the vote, of the total vote, they win. So if the Liberal Party in the first round of counting gets 51% of the vote in the number ones, they win. That's just as simple as that. And it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if you had voted for the Greens in number one or Labor in number one. It doesn't matter, because if you have 50, I'll try and make it easier. I'll do easier on my own brain for maths. If you had 60% of the people voted Liberal number one, 20% of the people voted Greens number one, and 20% of the people voted Labor number one, it wouldn't have mattered if all the Greens voters had switched to Labor in number one. Either way, the Liberals still got 60% and they still win, right? It's as simple as that. If they were going to win on the first vote in the number one spot, then they're going to win. And it wouldn't have mattered who you voted for. If, however, the Liberals get 40% of the vote and the Greens get 30% of the vote and Labor gets 30% of the vote, then they go to number two and they see who gets number two. And then and what they do is they will find out who got the least votes, the absolute fewest votes of all, and then find out who their number two was. And those votes will then get distributed, right? And it goes on and on and on. Each round, the person with the least amount of votes gets their votes sent back. And as long as you preference Labor above the Liberal Party, then it's always safe to vote for the Greens or a third party, or, the Victorian Socialists, who are another party I endorse. It's always safe to vote for the party you want the most to win first. You are not helping the Liberal Party unless for some reason you preference the Liberal Party above Labor. If you preference the Liberal Party above Labor, if you vote Victorian Socialist one and Liberal Party and then Labor, you are a fucking idiot. Like, let's be honest. Labor sucks, I think, but they're better than the Liberals. So you can vote for a third party, and you should. We live in a better system than America. Don't be fooled. Vote for the party you want to win first. Like, people will start trying to use tricky maths and trying to explain, no, but you can actually help the Liberal Party. No, you can't. You can't. If you preference Labor above the Liberals, then you're not helping the Liberal Party in any way by voting for a third candidate. You are simply not. That is a lie. That is wrong. That is factually wrong. If anyone tells you otherwise, they don't understand the system. They simply don't understand the system, or they're lying because they don't want, the third parties to get seats. Now, the other way that people will tell you that you're hurting Labor or you're helping the Liberal Party is by saying, well, what happens if Greens do win seats and they take seats away from Labor? Then, then you've split the vote and then Liberals get more seats. Again, doesn't work like that. If the Liberals get the majority of seats, if they get the required number of seats to win, and as much as I'm doing a podcast right now about the Australian election, I forgot how many seats it is. How many seats to win Australian election? I know what I'm talking about, dude. I know what I'm fucking talking about. It's 76. That's what I was gonna say. It's 76 seats, right? If the Liberal Party wins 76 seats in the Liberal National Coalition, these fucking dogs, then they win. Like, again, it doesn't matter if Greens stole Labor seats or whatever. If Liberals win 76 seats, they win. They have the majority. They've won. So, if you've split the Greens and if Labor loses some seats to the Greens, whatever, even if all those seats went back to Labor, they still don't have 76. The Liberals do. The Liberals win. It's not splitting the vote. What it will do, and what I want it to do, is force force a minority government, and people worry about minority governments. A minority government is a good thing. It's what makes our democracy better than the American bullshit democracy. America is not a functioning democracy. I mean, it's definitely not now, but it hasn't been for a while because they don't have proportional. They don't have proportional voting. They don't have preferential voting. If a minority government is a good thing because it forces parties to consider the opinions of everyone and try and win the votes of what the most people of Australia wanted. So if Labor wins 76 seats, then Labor wins outright, and they don't need to do deals with anyone. They can, pass legislation if they control the Senate as well. That's a whole other thing. But if Labor wins, 73 seats and Greens win 75 seats, that's not 75 seats. If Greens win 5 seats, then that means the Greens can do a deal with Labor. Labor can form a government, but they will have to consult the Greens on policy. And now rusted on Labor voters will say that's a terrible thing. Someone like me would say that's a good thing because now people are being represented. You still have 73 seats going to people who voted for Labor, and those 73 people are being represented by 73 seats, and 5 seats going to the Greens, and the people that voted for them are being represented by those 5 seats. And people say, the Greens hold the balance of power. They have all the power, but they're only 5 seats. Well, no, that's not true. They don't have all the power. They can't win anything on their own, but they have enough power to be consulted. Like the Labor have the most power. They have 73 seats. 73 seats is more powerful than 5 seats. It's this bullshit thing that people say, this tiny little thing is holding the government hostage. No, they're not. They're just 5 people that have been voted in by their electorates who now have the ability to be consulted. Minority governments are a good thing because it's what a lot of European countries have. It means that you have to compromise, you have to work things out, you have to do deals, you have to figure things out, and people are actually properly represented. There is proper representation in Parliament. I want to see a government, I want to see the Green. I think the Greens have great ideas. I want to see them have the ability to push for dental in Medicare, for example. I want to see them be able to push for housing affordability and stop this someone's got to stop this fucking submarine deal. I'll go on about that in a fucking minute. But so that's the preferential voting system, right? The too long didn't read version is vote for who you want in number 1. Vote for who you want in number 2. Vote for who you want in number 3. We are not America. You do not need to vote strategically. You do not need to go, well, I want this party to win, but I hate Dutton so much that I better vote for this other party. You don't need to do that. You can vote for your genuine first preference first. And anyone who tells you otherwise is wrong. Look it up. Send them to the Australian Electoral Commission website. They're wrong. You're not splitting the vote. You're not helping Liberal unless you preference Liberal above Labor. And again, I'll say it again, don't do that. Put the Liberals last just to be safe. I fucking hate the Liberal Party. Let's go into why I hate the Liberal Party. First of all, I want to say this too. If I have to hear the words inner city fucking latte sipping lefties one more time, I'm going to fucking go crazy. I'm going to suck my own dick and cream pie my own fucking mouth. I'm sick of this fucking fake bullshit trying to pit us against each other. I'm sick of, I was just listening to fucking Angus Taylor, and he was talking on the Batuta Advocate podcast, and I was listening to it, and I don't know if Archie you listen. I'm with their network. This podcast is on their network, and Archie and Clancy, if you're listening, I love you guys, but fuck Angus Taylor, fuck that cunt. And fuck this like inner city fucking divide. What the fuck is the inner city? If I have to hear people talk about inner city, they're out of touch with the country. Yeah, I'm out of touch with the fucking country. I can't afford any land. There's people out there that own land. Imagine what that would be like. Driving around in fucking Ford Raptors and shit. I drove my my beat up fucking Honda down from Queensland after Christmas, and we stayed at this place in Dubbo with this couple that were like, oh yeah, this boomer couple that had like 5 cars on their property and a pool and a spa and like just like acres of land. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm out of touch with this. This would be fucking beautiful. Like, yeah, I'm out of touch with small business owners. I can't afford a small business. I can't afford a fucking car dealership in the western suburbs of Sydney. Fuck. I can't own a home. I could never afford a home in any of the fucking anywhere in this country. This fucking inner city latte sipping. You can get a fucking latte at a combo meal from Hungry Jack's. Most people in the city aren't going to the Australia Club. Most people in the city aren't having fucking cocktails. They're fucking we live in share houses because that's all we can fucking afford. Like, it's not because we're like, oh, I'm bohemian. It's like, yeah, you can't afford to live on your own. I was living in share houses till I lived with my partner. And and I couldn't afford to live on my own now. I could not afford to pay rent on my own now. You just have to. You live in the city because that's where the fucking jobs are. Fucking inner city. Oh, you're inner city. You don't understand. Yeah, I don't fucking understand. I'm fucking broke, cunt. It's fucking fuck you. Yeah, fuck everyone who tries to put this inner city fucking versus the bush versus fucking regional areas. Like, everywhere's the fucking city. Fucking Gold Coast, Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, Darwin, Perth. They're all cities. Toowoomba, it's a city, sort of. Ipswich, that's where I'm from. People in there, I couldn't afford a house in fucking Ipswich. Fucking cunts. And you talk like these fucking liberal and national politicians, these cunts, these fucking low dog cunts. And again, they're all either fascists or grifters. They talk about inner city lefties and greenies and whatever as if these aren't the richest cunts alive. Do you know how fucking rich Peter Dutton is? Do you know how fucking wealthy Angus Taylor is? He's a fucking Rhodes Scholar. He went to Oxford. How out of touch can you possibly be? Some cunt from fucking Oxford. Fuck you, cunt. Like, Barnaby Joyce is a multi-millionaire. And so are a lot of fucking politicians. Like, I'm not, you can listen to this and go, oh yeah, but so is this guy, and so is this guy, and so is this guy from the Greens, and so is like Maureen Faruqi from the Greens. Yeah, she's fucking rich. She's a landlord. But the Liberals are all fucking rich. They're all fucking rich because they're grifters, right? That's the thing. Because this is the thing with the Liberal Party. A lot of parties are like this. A lot of parties do this, but the Liberal Party only does this. The Liberal Party is just a money laundering fucking scheme. Like, they are scammers and grifters. And I want to talk about Angus Taylor specifically. Angus Taylor, in A Just World, who was just interviewed on the Baytuda podcast, he should be behind bars in a prison, in a fucking gulag, for stealing $80 million from the Australian taxpayer and sending it to the Cayman Islands. He's a corrupt, criminal, scum cunt. Look into the water buyback scheme. It's a whole big thing. If you don't know about it, basically in 2017, the government has this thing where they buy back water from farms and farmers and stuff, to help the Murray-Darling Basin. Water is a precious commodity in that region, and they'll buy back water from farms. But oftentimes these farms, they're owned by big corporations, right? And now there was a thing that Barnaby Joyce and Angus Taylor were involved in, where the government, the Liberal government, did a buyback, and they did a buyback from a company. They bought water from a company called Eastern Australia Agriculture, and they bought $80 million worth. They bought a fuck ton, and at a price that was way higher per megalitre than normal, way higher. And Angus Taylor was the co-founder, director, and secretary of Eastern Australia Agriculture. Now, at the time, he says he didn't work there and he didn't do anything there. But Eastern Agriculture Australia is Eastern Australia Irrigation has a headquarters. Its headquarters is at the Cayman Islands. And the Cayman Islands is where you go when you are a money launderer. That's literally the only reason that you have a Cayman Islands thing is money laundering or tax evasion or criminal activity. The Cayman Islands literally is a place in the Caribbean. Oh, that was supposed to be a fart. That sound didn't work. That one did. The Caribbean. If you have a Cayman Islands corporation, you are a criminal, and your company is a criminal organization. That is 100% true all the time. Now, I can't tell you, like I've said this about Peter Dutton, I've said this about a lot of people. I don't know for sure. I don't have any direct proof necessarily that Angus Taylor, got his mates to give him a bunch of money and sent it to the Cayman Islands. But that is 100% definitely what happened. We all know that's what happened. The company, or it's just some crazy coincidence that the company that he was the director and co-founder of, that's based in the Cayman Islands, got $80 million from the government. That was, way higher purchase than A needed to be, and B sold at a higher rate per megalitre than needed to be, like way higher. That's just a crazy coincidence. That's a wacky coincidence. No, Angus Taylor is a corrupt criminal who should be in prison. That's why the Liberal Party oppose forming any kind of anti-corruption watchdog. That's why Gladys Berejiklian, just look into Gladys Berejiklian. I can't even go into it. Look into sports rorts. Look into the Australian Wheat Board. They are corrupt. That is their modus operandi. The Liberal Party as an organisation, from the top to the bottom, all it is basically an organisation in which politicians who come from private business backgrounds get political jobs. They give tender, they give contracts to companies they own or companies where they, funnel money through a Cayman Islands holding corporation or whatever, and or companies that donate to them in exchange for favours and in exchange for cushy jobs at the end of their political career, like what Gladys got with Optus, right? They are all corrupt. 100% of them, they are corrupt from the top to the bottom. And you can say that this is like a conspiracy theory. It's not even a conspiracy theory. Like anyone with half a brain knows what's going on with this water buybacks, for example, right? Anyone with half a brain knows what the fuck is happening here. And maybe because of defamation law, maybe because the media is so toothless, maybe because fucking people just they're afraid of calling out one side of politics more than the other. Well, yeah, but one side is way, way fucking worse. That's what I'm saying. One side is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is fucking worse. And Peter Dutton and the Liberal Party are trying to follow that playbook. They are way fucking worse. They are a criminal party of grifters and fascists. And even if you I'm not even going to talk shit on the Labor Party, because I don't vote for the Labor Party. I'll admit that. And is there corruption in the Labor Party? I guarantee it. Are there millionaire fucking housing people, landlords in the Labor Party? 100%. But they are not anywhere near the scale of corruption and grifter and fascism that the Liberal Party have become. Not even close. It is orders of magnitude worse. And it is not okay to talk to them or normalize them or fucking hang out with them. They're fucking scum. They are fucking scum and they hate this. They don't give a fuck about you or this country. They just want to line their fucking pockets. And it's crazy that like that all these things happen that nobody questions. Like this submarine deal, right? This submarine deal that I've gone on about. I don't know how many times I've gone on about this fucking submarine deal. The Liberal Party made a deal with AUKUS to get these submarines, this multi-million, like billion-dollar deal, this 40 billion, however many billion it was, to get nuclear-powered submarines that we're going to get in like 10, 20, 30 years' time. And everybody knows, we all know, we will never get those submarines. We know that. It is a fact. America has basically just straight up said it. I was watching the press club the other day and Malcolm Turnbull, who fucking should have said shit like this when he was a Liberal Party leader, he was saying, yeah, we're not going to get those submarines. That is a fact. It's not going to happen because there's a clause in the deal where it's like if America decides, oh, hang on, we actually need these submarines, then we're just not going to give them to you. But look, we still have to pay for them and stuff. And what I'm saying is everybody involved knew. They all knew that. Of course they knew that. They're not fucking idiots. The Liberal Party are a lot of things. They're not fucking idiots. They're good at funneling money to Cayman Islands holding corporations. They know that. Someone got paid. That's it. Like, and again, I got no proof for that, but someone definitely got paid. Are you fucking kidding? Of course. Somewhere there's a company that is owned by someone in the Liberal Party who's like has a shell corporation in the Cayman Islands or whatever. Someone got fucking paid and someone's going to get paid. And when there's contracts to be delivered, they'll be like, oh, we need someone to build the lights for the submarine that's never going to get built. Suddenly a company who happens to be the brother of a Liberal Party member is going to get the contract. And for some reason, that contract is going to be 3 times as much as what it costs to build the lights for the submarine. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. They're just grifters and fascists. And they're fascists because they're like, I mean, you got the Jacinta Prices of the world that are wearing the MAGA hats. She's going to make Australia great again. Peter Dutton has launched his war on woke. And I need to state this. So fucking firmly, right? Woke is nothing. Woke is a made-up boogeyman that is like saying that things are woke is a made-up boogeyman to distract you from conservatives stealing your money. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Like, what the fuck is woke? I'm a 41-year-old white man. I don't fucking, and I will admit, there's heaps of shit I don't like. And I've talked about this. I talked about this in another episode. But I don't fucking like Taylor Swift. I don't like I couldn't think of anything worse than attending Mardi Gras in Sydney, right? And that's like I've talked about this in the show. I've sucked a lot of dicks before. I'm like, you know, I'm up for whatever. I'm sexually whatever, but I don't care about. Like, I hate techno music and colors and community spirit and glitter. I hate it. And it's not a thing of like, oh, I hate it at like ideologically. It's a thing that's like, I want to sit at home and eat a bag of pods and watch The Last of Us, please. But it doesn't like if you like it, fucking good for you. Like, cool, that's awesome. I like death metal. Death metal sucks, but I like it. If you like glitter, you probably hate death metal, but you know, to each their own. Who gives a shit? And that's the thing about this woke stuff. Like, do I want to go to an event where a drag queen reads a story to a kid? Not really, because I don't like stories and I don't like kids. But like, who cares? People are like, oh, my son's going to wear a dress. Yeah. Fucking call the cops, cunt. Like, what the fuck do I care? Oh, there's a woman in a Ghostbusters movie. Who gives a shit, you fucking loser? Who gives a fucking shit when you got bills to pay? How do people have the time to be upset about woke stuff when you got fucking bills to pay, you dumb cunt? They're stealing your money and you're like, oh, there's a trans person in a video game. Fuck up. Grow up, you fucking moron. And fucking Peter Dutton knows that he's going to fucking win people over. He's talking about the woke agenda in schools. He's like, we got to get this woke agenda out of schools. Nah, man. What are you talking about? My partner's a school teacher. They just fucking teach kids maths and English and fucking history and whatever. And they say things like, hey, don't bully. Is that the woke part? It's okay if you have a different skin color. Is that woke? That's what they mean, because we're talking about fucking fascists here. Woke is just a dog whistle for we don't like people who are gay. We don't like people who are brown. And by saying we hate wokeness, it's a dog whistle to say, yeah, we just fucking hate brown people. We just don't want them in the country. So fuck off, you fucking fascist grifter cunts. There is no reason for anyone to vote for the Liberal Party. There's literally no reason for anyone to vote for any candidate of the Liberal Party. I don't give a shit where they're from. I don't give a shit if they wear a big fucking country hat. I don't give a shit if they go, oh, I sit around the dinner table with families in Australia. Fuck up. You're a grifter and you're stealing money and you're funneling it to a Cayman Islands holding corporation just like Angus Taylor. Peter Dutton is a multi-millionaire. He has hundreds of millions of dollars. He's not like you. He's not relatable to you. He is of a different class to you. You are not allowed in the places that he is allowed. He wants to steal money from you. He wants to sell this country out from under you. The parties that I support in the election, one is local to me, that is the Victorian Socialists. I don't know if the Victorian Socialists have a Queensland branch. They don't. But they'll have alliances. There's other socialist parties or whatever. I think the word socialism is it's an unfortunate word. It's pretty much a dead word, and there's a lot of people that probably don't want to vote for socialists because this guy called Stalin was not great. If you look him up, not great. I'll say it. I will say it. Stalin, no good, and I will say that, and I'm not afraid to say it. Hitler too, nah. I'm against him. But, I like the Victorian Socialists because they give a fuck about housing and unions. And they are actually working class people. They're not fucking these inner city latte sipping. Fuck off. These are people, they represent people who are doing it tough with fuck all money, working shit jobs, and they give a shit about them. That's who they give a shit about. That's who they fucking give a shit about. And I like Pingers. I like Jordan, Purple Pingers. I like the way he talks. I like the way that he, I saw him on the project once, and he was, when he's doing his thing where he's telling you, he was saying, if a property is vacant and the doors are left open, then it's legal for you to squat. And someone from the project asked him, is this really the right way to go about it? And he was like, I don't give a shit. I don't care if this is the right or wrong way to go about something. I'm saying if someone needs a roof over their heads, here's a way to get it. And that's cool. I think that's cool. I think that's action. I think that's someone that's putting their money where their mouth is. I think that's someone that's just taking action, and it's the kind of thing like in America right now, which is what I'm really worried about, is these fucking loser Democrats who are calling out Trump with words and going, oh, he's bad. Yeah. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit, dude. He doesn't give a shit about your fucking TikToks. You need to fucking take action. You need to, and that's why I like Victorian Socialists. I feel like they do stuff. And yeah, they're never going to win. Maybe Purple Pingers will get a seat in the Senate. But in terms of major parties, and the Greens are they call them a major party. The Greens are good. And here's the thing. I know what you're thinking. Oh, fucking Greens, inner city. They have inner city. They wear a shirt. They don't wear big hats and go, where you going, mate? They're inner city. They're out of touch. Well, are they out of touch or are they just fucking good policies? And you don't like someone who has a big pram and a scarf that once said, I vote Greens. Like the Greens have good policies, like in terms of like as good as like any party will have, like better than any party that is, in the mainstream, that has like real chance of getting seats. The Greens have like, they want dental and Medicare. They want to scrap the submarine deal. Like they want good stuff for this country, man. Like, don't worry about the fucking aesthetics of it. Just like vote for who has the best policies. And like the Greens have fucking good policies. They do. Go onto their website, look them up. And and I'm very aware that I'm like preaching to the converted here. So here's the other thing, right? I mean, yeah, you got to vote. You got to vote. You got to fucking vote. But you got to do something. This election is so fucking important. You got to do something. More than voting. I've said this before. I'll say this again. Find 2 people. You must know 2 people in your life that are Liberal voters or Nationals voters and convince them to change their vote. To Labor, to whoever, convince them to change their vote from the Liberal Party. You got to know someone. Tell them, like talk to them about the fact, like this nuclear power thing. Like I'll be honest, I don't know enough. Like there are some people that are staunchly anti-nuclear. I'm not staunchly anti-nuclear. I don't know enough to know whether nuclear power as a concept is, viable for combating climate change. I don't know enough, and I'm not going to weigh in on whether or not it is, because I think this world has too much of people weighing in on shit they don't really know enough about. But what I do know for a fact is that Peter Dutton will not build any nuclear power plants. That's not true. Like he's saying he's going to build it. No, he's not. That's not true. And everyone knows that. And they know that it's going to cost significantly more than what he says. And they know that it's not viable. And they know that it's like every economist, every scientist, everyone who knows what they're talking about has said over and over and over and over and over again, Peter Dutton's nuclear plan is meaningless and bullshit and makes no sense. Nobody thinks this is a good idea. And we know that it will not happen. It's purely a distraction because the coal companies and Gina Reinhardt, who is a big supporter, she thinks of herself as a Australian Musk, and she has like fundraisers and hangs out with Dutton. And that's what I'm talking about. The Liberal Party, they hang out with people you don't get to see. There's men with guns that protect them from people like you. They're not in touch with anyone. All that this nuclear power thing is a way that mining companies and coal companies and, coal power plants can keep their lights on for another few years, while we like pretend to transition to nuclear power and not actually do anything. And a couple of companies who Peter Dutton or his mates, have ownership in the Cayman Islands, they'll get some slush funds, some money out of it. That's all that is. Like, it's a grift. Peter Dutton has no idea. He's had no policies, nothing. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's flip-flopping on everything. All he's got is like fucking woke. It's woke. It's woke. Like woke is nothing. Ask someone, how the fuck does a transgender person doing a piss in a toilet affect you in any way? People talk about transgender women in sports. How many are there? How many sporting games do you watch with all these? Like, first of all, like there's like it's such a non-issue for you, and the people that gay people and transgender people, it is an issue for them. And if they get to use the bathroom they want, and if they get to live the life they want, it doesn't fucking affect you, cunt. It doesn't fucking affect you in any way. You're just mad because you don't like a lefty telling you what to think. You got to convince someone, one person even, just one. Like, you got to convince someone. You got to try on a personal level, someone in your family, someone. The other thing you got to do is you got to give money. Donate some money to the Greens. Donate some money to the Victorian Socialists. Donate some money to another political party that you like or an independent that you like. Look at that. Look, and make sure you tell people as well when it comes to preference voting as well. If you hear someone say, "Hey, I want to vote for the Greens, but I don't want Peter Dutton to win," make sure you let them know. Like, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt Labor if you put Greens 1, Labor 2. It doesn't help Liberals if you put Greens 1, Labor 2. It doesn't. It's just simply not how it works. There's never been a more important election. Do what you can. Think about everything that you can do and try and do a little bit more. We cannot go into this next year with Peter Dutton licking Donald Trump's asshole. It's too important. We can't have him growling out Donald Trump's fucking asshole. Peter Dutton loves Trump. Pedo Pete. I call him Pedo Pete because he's not a pedophile, but he does respect pedophiles like Donald Trump, who is a pedophile, who was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, who's like on record as being a rapist. Like, Trump is in court found to be a rapist. Also friends with Jeffrey Epstein. He's a pedophile. Cardinal Pell, who Trump loves, is a pedophile. Alan Jones is a pedophile who Peter Dutton loved. Peter Dutton is like, friendly with pedophiles. But I just call him Pedo Pete because it has a nice ring to it. And because I think of him as low as I do a pedophile. Put the Liberals last. Make sure they're fucking last. Do everything you can. Do everything you can and then do a little bit more. There's never been a more important election because we cannot be a country that is licking out Donald Trump's asshole. Donald Trump is trying to take away our pharmaceutical benefit scheme. That's true. That's what's happening. They're putting punitive tariffs on Australia because we sell medicine for cheap. Peter Dutton will help Trump. He will bow down to Trump. Peter Dutton supports big business. He will, I guarantee you, he said he wouldn't, but he will. He'll get rid of the PBS if he has to. He will do anything he can because he respects Trump. He said Trump is a deal maker and a big thinker, and he respects Trump. He has people on his team that wear Make America Great hats. He loves Trump. He's been open about that, his respect and admiration for Trump. He's doing a war on woke, just like Trump. He's sucking up to Gina Reinhart and working with her, just like Trump and Musk. Peter Dutton is a fucking Timu Trump, whatever the fuck. I've never even heard of the website Timu or Temu until people were talking about Peter Dutton as Timu Trump. Anyway, that's just an aside. But yeah, just do what you can. Do whatever you fucking can. And remember that Angus Taylor is a corrupt criminal that should be in prison, and I endorse him for being put into a gulag for the rest of his life. Put the Liberals last. Fuck the Liberal Party. Fuck those cunt dogs. Thank you.
The Greg Larson Show. The big unit is ready to go. The Greg Larson Show. Muck around on the Mazapan. A fresh custard in his hand. The greatest podcast in all the land. Greg Larson Show. Yeah.